Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Blueprint. My name is Bayo Machado, CEO of Signa Marketing. Today we're going to go over a good amount of questions. Actually, we got a good variation here. Some that apply to small business, some that a little bit more technical on the cutting edge side of things. But we'll go ahead and get into it with the first question.
Should I be investing in SEO and paid search advertising at the same time?
It all comes down to your goals and your current budget, but absolutely at some point you should be doing both. So you have full coverage on the search engine results page. If you are barely starting out and you have only a specific budget that you have to work with and you need sales and leads tomorrow, then paid media, running paid search campaigns is definitely going to be the way to go. But I would encourage you to execute SEO in parallel to that, because SEO is going to take some time to build up the rankings and traffic and start to generate leads from SEO. It's going to be around 6 to 8 months depending on your market and how saturated it is. But you should definitely be focusing on both efforts, because once you get to that point where you are ranking from an SEO perspective, then at least you have full coverage from the paid search side of things and the SEO side of things. There's definitely a lot of people that gravitate towards ads apart from organic and vice versa. So knowing that you have those two segments out there and you have your bases covered with both paid and organic, that's how you know you're getting full coverage.
My landing page isn't converting my paid traffic. What am I doing wrong?
So I would start with making sure that whatever your targeting is, if it's Facebook or Instagram, then it's like interest or location-based and behavior-based and stuff like that. Or if it's on the search side of things, it's keyword targeting and stuff. But make sure that however your targeting is maps out perfectly to your ad, so that's relevant. And third but not least is your landing page. That item has to be completely relevant to how that it was targeted and what that ad said to that audience. Because once they click on that ad, they're looking for you to deliver on the landing page, that message. You want to make sure that there's a clear call to action on how to take the next step of what you're asking for. But make sure that right off the bat you have a very clear headline of what is it, and tackle even the pain point too. Get the emotional aspect triggered there with then some supporting text as far as what that solution is and how you can fix that in the simplest way possible. You don't want to go too extensive right off the bat. And right now we're talking about items that are above the fold. You want to make sure that you do your best on answering your customer's pain point right off the bat with them without having them scroll down the page. If they do need to scroll down the page, then that's where you can start to add more credibility as far as maybe if your business works with different clients, showing your client logos or items of recognition, guarantees, anything like that from a trust factor. And then also using testimonials too. Testimonials goes a long way. If you can get video testimonials, that's even better. But you definitely need that credibility aspect there to push people. Like if they've had to scroll down and you have credibility there to catch them, then that's perfect. And then without having to scroll anywhere else, you should have another call to action there. But you can always test different call to actions. It could be a button that turns into a pop-up that takes over the whole screen so that they're very hyper-focused. Or you can at least, without having to scroll down, have a form off to the side where they can take action right off the bat. Whether it's to download a lead magnet like an ebook or anything like that, or even just to submit for a quote if that's what your business entails. But right off the bat, those items what I would recommend as far as tackling right off the bat.
It's like a lot of planning strategy in your landing page, pretty much as your ad too. Yeah. It
is. There's a ton of strategy. It's always strategy and planning that makes these campaigns work. It's all up front. A lot of people get impatient. They just want to see their ad run, and then they get irritated when they don't see Facebook perform, and then they blame Facebook. It's the lack of planning. The copy in your ad, in your landing page is crucial to triggering emotion and getting people to stick and take that desired action. So it's all with strategy and planning up front.
I received my first negative review on my Google business listing. How is best to respond?
So I encourage you to respond to every single review, whether positive or negative. In this case, we're talking GMB, Google My Business, but this even goes for Yelp or Facebook or you name it, any review site. It's a great opportunity for you to showcase how you handle customer service and when things go bad. People will see that and be able to grade you on your ethics of how you run a business, if they're a business that they want to even work with. We're all human, and we know that sometimes there's just a bad experience. How you handle that is a big opportunity to showcase your character as a business and your ethics. So you should definitely be responding back on how you can address the conversation. And I'd always try to get that conversation offline. Get them on a phone call, get them through on an email thread, but get that conversation offline. Don't try to figure it out in front of everyone, in front of the whole world, in public forum. Get that conversation offline. The other thing too, with there's tactics you can use there, especially like with Amazon reviews. Amazon reviews is a great opportunity to respond back and also carry some of your keywords on there. So because all those reviews are sitting on that Amazon product listing, the more keywords you can really get infused into that page, the higher it can possibly rank in the future and stuff like that. So it's always a great opportunity, even if it's a negative review, to stick in some SEO strategy in there.
Personalization marketing. What is it, and how can I utilize it to help my business?
This is a great question. When people ask this question, at least I know that they're forward thinking, because personalization marketing, I feel like it's still kind of new to just business owners in general. Some may know about it, but yeah, I mean, this can be used in all forms of digital marketing, especially we see it with email advertising. A lot of dynamic fields being used in emails, such as changing out the name so that the email reads, hi John, hi Bill. It's very personalized, but that whole effort's getting more and more detailed to where that whole message is catered to that person's exact situation or that person's exact pain point. There's a lot of platforms that are coming out that are personalization platforms that work great. Even really, really new ones. There's one that's even called Persosa. That one is tremendous. And there's some competitors out there that do the same thing. Basically, it'll swap out content on the same page. So for example, if you have a campaign that you're running to target A and target B, you can tie Persosa and a platform similar to that to change the landing page content depending on the campaign that user came from. So now it's reading specific to person A compared to person B. You can definitely see an increase in conversion rate because the messaging is completely resonating and it's relevant to that user. So using platforms like Persosa are awesome. Shout out to Gregory Lim, because he actually took me through it, and they've been doing a lot of work on that platform. But yeah, so I definitely encourage using personalization marketing wherever you can.
I sell my products in many boutique shops in Phoenix, and while they sell well in stores, I'm not selling many from my business site. I have a lot of traffic, but few conversions. What can I do to generate a profit?
So these situations definitely get tricky. There's a couple different strategies that I would test out, and then it all depends with the retailer too, on how workable they are and stuff like that. But you could try some strategies of maybe making certain products only exclusive to be purchased online, but they're advertised at the retail store to where the retailer still gets a percentage for online sales if that customer uses a certain code, so that that customer came from that retailer. So maybe testing out strategies like that, but you have to find certain ways on how to move the traffic to the website. It's going to be kind of difficult to drop prices on the website and say it's cheaper on the website, because then your retailers may not like you as much. So you got to really work and have those conversations with the retailer, see what you can do. But apart from that, I would push brand. You have to push brand awareness because people would love to most likely buy a lot of those items from your online store because it's at a convenience. Instead of people having to go to the store, there's always going to probably be some sort of amount of people that like to go to the store because they like to see it in person. But for the people that are looking for convenience, they're going to go to the store. And if you are tackling it from a brand awareness standpoint and educating your whole audience that's available in the store, because some people may not even know that you have an online store, that's where I'd do a big push from a branding perspective. Because what you're looking to do is shift the traffic.
How do I calculate my conversion rate?
Awesome, wonderful. This KPI, any business owner, you should know what this KPI is. If you have someone internally or even a digital agency that you're working with right now, if you're getting reports from them every month from paid campaigns or SEO or you name it, always be looking at that KPI to see if it's increasing or if it's healthy. Your conversion rate is the percentage of how many people landed on your website and compared to the number of people that actually took action from taking whatever that action is. It could be sign up for a newsletter, submitting a form for request a quote. It could be an online sale if it's an e-commerce store, you name it. But that conversion rate is ridiculously important. You should definitely be paying attention to that, and you should be wanting to see that increase over time or doing anything you can to increase that, because that means that if you have the same amount of website traffic landing on your site and you're converting it at a higher rate, that means you're getting more leads with the same amount of traffic, or you're getting more sales with the same amount of traffic. So that's a great KPI to increase, to see some pretty crazy business results kind of fast, depending on what you do to enhance it. That concludes today's episodes. A lot of great questions. I encourage you to go on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, our site, and submit any of your questions. If you're submitting questions through any of the social platforms, just make sure to tag it with hashtag Blueprint Show, and we're reviewing all those questions. Even if it's a video or a question or anything like that, definitely submit it. We're happy to answer your questions. Brady and I have been kicking this off and staying consistent with it, and we're happy to answer your questions. So with that being said, we'll see you guys on the next episode with episode 3.